out. Excellent, thank you. All right, class. So we're gonna resume talking about the terminology, important terminology for you in your English class. You will be required to write down what is the meaning of those terminologies. In any story, we need to look for the words like plot. What is the plot? What is the introduction or the exposition? The arising action, the climax, which is really important, it's the turning point, and the falling action, where the events start to resolve towards the end of the story, and then we come to the resolution or the end of the story. Sometimes the writers leave it open. Sometimes they give you the ending, not necessarily to be happy ending in every story. It could be open, it could be vague, it could be sad ending. Any ending would be end of the story. We talked about the introduction or the setting. We talk about it. It's the time, the place, the duration of the story. It can go here. The setting can be introduced in the introduction. So when you read a story about two people who meet each other in a train station, so this is the setting and also the exposition. The arising action is the events or the actions that lead to the plot. There where the excitement grows, you start to see the tension building up, something is going to happen. Then we move on to the climax, the turning point, the peak of the story, the most important event in the story, where it is highest. And of course, it could be like because of the excitement or the urgency and the what we call the critical moment here. The falling action is moving towards the end or moving when the tension starts to release and the story begins to wind down, to become calmer, things to be resolved or explained if there is a mystery or if there is something that is vague. Now, when we started to know one bit by bit, we started to get the idea of the resolving of the issue. The resolution is always where the conflict or the climax or the most important piece in the story has become to resolved, to become clear, to be answered. And as I mentioned, not necessarily to be something happy. It could be unexpected. It could be tragic. It could be sad. Any of those, we could tell that this is moving towards the end. The narrator is the voice of the author. What kind of writing is it? Is it the first or the second or the third pronoun? Now, when I say, when I was a kid, so this is the first person perspective. When I speak to you and I say, I talked to you, you did it, you helped me, you were against me, or any of that would be the second person. Third person, when you are just telling the story about somebody or something or anything. Maybe you tell a story about a pet or a cat or an animal or the cloud or a person or the tribe in Africa. Any person could be the third person in the story we are talking about. Now, this is really important when we talk about the type of characterization. It's important for you because you will be asked to analyze characters. So you need to see the growth of the character. When we say three-dimensional, meaning complex and unique, and there is some development, some change that happened to the character. It started like let's say a story started about a little girl who is naive, innocent, and kind, and then she has been exposed to problems and difficult things, and in the climax she became very aggressive, and towards the end she could achieve her goal, or she would ask for revenge or something. So this is a development in her character. Some other characters would be linear, no development from the beginning to the end, no development. Nothing happened to the character, and you feel it's almost the same. Now, the setting, as we talk, is the time, place, and dimension or duration of the story. We talked about the rising action. We talk about the climax. We will apply all this to Hills Like White Elephants. I gave you this as a class assignment or a class exercise. I'll check what you did on Google Classroom. The character contrast is the author seeks to emphasize the strengths and weakness and philosophies or the themes that each character would be caring for. So the most important thing for us now is to focus on what would be required from you in story analysis. You will be required to talk about the characters, to track their development. You will be required to write about the main themes of the story. If the story is dealing with peace or war or love or hatred or revenge or seeking human rights, any of those you need to talk about it. Sometimes in one story you can have more than one theme. It's important for you to figure out all the themes, and you would be talking about one particular theme as per the assignment. Now let's settle on the internet issue. You can read on the internet what are the themes of the story, how the writer develops it, or how they talk about, and then you put the internet aside, the online, any critique online, put it on side, and then you need to start writing your own words. You know that we have application that will figure out if you just copy and paste. And as the requirements of the ministry and as the policy, you are not supposed to copy paste. This is not acceptable by all means. So you need to have your own words in expressing your ideas. So any questions so far, anyone? Do you have any problems, any things you want to discuss? Okay. Nothing? Okay. So, all right, let me now share with the sound this video, and then we'll do some exercise related to a short story.
You use or what?
Skip this one. Let's go here. Yes. Wait a minute. I want you, please, to write down while listening to the video. I want you to write down what is the story about, what are the themes, who are the characters, how the story ended. So in other words, I want you to write about the setting, the themes, and the characters. That would be written, every one of you will be writing that on a Word document and prepare to share it with me. I mean, share it with the class. Please, you need to interact in the class, because there is a mark for conversation, class participation. How am I going to give you this mark if you keep silent? So you need to communicate, whether by chat or you speak up. So feel free. There is no room for anybody to ridicule anybody else or to be like in laughing at each other. Nothing. It's a secure, healthy learning environment. If you are a little bit not comfortable to share, like to have your camera on, at least share in the chat box. Okay? So you know what is the task now? You will watch the video and then you will write the setting of the story, the theme of the story, how did it end, who are the characters.
Once upon a time, there was a person coming to a new village, relocating, and he was wondering if he would like it there. So he went to a Zen master and asked, "Do you think I will like it in this village? Are the people nice?" The master asked back, "How were the people in the town where you came from?" "They were nasty and greedy. They were angry and lived for cheating and stealing," said the newcomer. "Those are exactly the type of people we have in this village," said the master. A day later, another newcomer to the village visited the master and asked the same question. To which the master asked, "How were the people in the town where you come from?" "They were sweet and lived in harmony. They cared for one another and for the land. They respected each other, and they were seekers of spirit," he replied. "Well, those are exactly the type of people we have in this village," said the master. You see, in life, in your life, whatever you see in the world will see in you. See hope, see good, see love, and the world will see the same in you. But if you only see the nasty and greedy part of people, that is what they will see in you. So be good to the world, and the world will be good to you. Give love to the world, and the world will give love to you. This is Dare to Do Motivation Stories. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Okay. So I'll give you 5 minutes to write down the setting of the story. I'm gonna write it down here. Theme, setting, So class, in the classroom, Google Classroom, I already had the exercise for everyone to comment under. So you can put your responses on the Google Classroom. Just please confirm you can see it. Everybody, can you see it on Google Classroom, our classroom?
Yeah, miss, we can see it.
Excellent. Thank you, Muhammad. Then please put your responses over there. Yes, so thank you, class, for responding to the post on Google Classroom discussing the very short story we just watched on YouTube. You now understand the main terminologies of any short story, which is the setting, the theme of the story, and the characters, who are the characters in the story, and finally the end, which is great. So for now, as class participation, would like to present a new activity or another activity, which is again related to storytelling now, or the story in general. If you are going to think about the story, we discussed the elements of the story. Now, another thing that we really want to discuss, do you think that we can have the character or the protagonist or the main character, the hero of the story, is it always must be a human being? Can you respond by just writing to the chat box? Is it always, must it always be a human being? Or what type of character or what type of personalities, what type of heroes and heroines could be the lead character in any story? What could it be? Can you just write down in the chat box, what could it be? Who do you think could be the characters in the story? Is it a must to have a human being all the time, or it could be an animal? Can you just write in the chat box? In a minute, everybody will participate. By the way, you will be reading aloud. I'm gonna consider this part of your class conversation because, as I mentioned, in the ministry requirements, there must be grades for class participation. I have it here. It says record of student achievement, and learning information gathered, the strategies, and the class participation. So yes, here, assessment overall, oral expectations, and the class participation. So there is no luxury here. We have to take part in the class participation. And thank you always, Muhammad, for just, speaking up and so on. So my question was, is it a must to have the hero, the main character, the protagonist in a story to be a human being? Of course, the answer is no. The main character could be a cloud, could be a cat, it can be anything. Yes, absolutely right, Larin. So now, as class participation, while you do this activity, I will be writing my comments to you, putting marks for your participation. I'm going to give you very simple, easy task, which is to read paragraph by paragraph aloud. Everybody participating will get a mark. So I'm going to call names, and this is no luxury. There is no point of saying yes or no. I'm going to have it a little bit bigger. The font is bigger here. So yes, sir, you're going to start reading paragraph number 1. After reading, we will discuss the short story. Yes, sir. Can you please read paragraph number 1? Aloud. Where are you? Yes, sir. Unmute. Can you please unmute yourself?
Hello?
Yes, unmute yourselves, please. Unmute. So, Muhammad, you spoke.
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Please, everybody, unmute yourself because you will be reading aloud. Jawad, Lareen, Muhammad, Yasser. Please unmute yourself because you will be reading aloud. Yasser, where are you? Are you in the class?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. So there is no way for you to feel, sorry or to feel shy. I'm here to learn. It's okay. Yes, sir, please read the first paragraph.
Okay. In the shimmering realm of serendipity, where dreams dance with reality, there existed a delicate teardrop named Leela. Unlike ordinary tears, she possessed a unique power. She could bend the truth within her liquid form. With her innocent
Facade.
facade, facade, Leela drifted through the world collecting stories and secrets, both whispered and hidden.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So this, what do you call this paragraph, everyone? The beginning paragraph, what do you call this one?
Introduction.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So we now are introduced to the main character. Who is the main character?
Leela.
Excellent. And is Leela a girl or a boy or a person or a thing? Who is Leela?
A teardrop.
Excellent. So the story, the hero of the story is a teardrop named Leela. Thank you so much, Yasser. Let's move to Jawad. Read number 2, please. Paragraph number 2, Jawad.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Leela yearned to bring happiness and heal the hearts burdened by sorrow. She roamed through bustling towns and quiet villages, searching for those in need of her special gift. One gloomy afternoon, as raindrops cascaded from the somber sky, Leela noticed a young girl sitting alone on a park bench, her face drenched with tears.
Excellent, thank you. So here we have another character introduced. Who is the other character here? Is there another person here in this paragraph?
Oh yeah, the girl sitting alone on the park bench.
Excellent, excellent, very good. And now we can talk a little bit more about the setting. So is it morning or afternoon? The event is happening in the afternoon or morning time?
Afternoon.
Excellent. And is it a clear, sunny sky or gloomy weather?
Gloomy.
Of course, it's a gloomy and the somber sky. So we could tell that it is the setting is in a gloomy place and it's in a village. And there is the teardrop that is looking for people, looking for somebody to help people who feel in sorrow. So we're beginning to know the theme now. Probably somebody who wants to help somebody else. Okay, let's move to Larine. Can you read this paragraph? Intrigued, start with intrigued.
Intrigued, Lila floated towards the girl, landing softly on her quivering cheek. As Lila transformed into a single tear, she infused herself with a tale of courage and resilience. The moment the tear fell from the girl's eye, a wondrous transformation began.
Transformation began. Yes, thank you. So here we're moving to what? Which part of the story we are moving? Is this a climax or rising actions? What do you think is happening here? Is this a climax? Is this a turning point? Or this is a rising action? Rising action meaning preparing you for a big turning point. Is here a turning point or preparing you for a big moment?
Rising action.
Excellent, excellent. It's a rising action because the writer is moving us towards an important moment. It is the moment of transformation. We'll see what kind of transformation. Okay, move on, Mohammed. Go for the girl.
The girl named Emily suddenly felt unfamiliar warmth embracing her heart. She wiped away the tear and looked around. Astonishment filling her eyes. Astonishment filling her eyes. The world seemed to change before her very gaze. The color of the leaves deepened. The chirping birds sang melodies of hope, and even the clouds took a whimsical shape, whispering promises of dreams fulfilled.
Yes. So what happens here is that we get another piece of information about the girl who was sitting lonely, who was sitting in a shy position, probably sad, probably wondering about something. And now we get a piece of information. We knew her name is Emily, and we know that she is now having something in her heart. And we know that the tear is there to help her to look around, and the tear is there to comfort her. It's somehow, do you think this is realistic or somehow fictional? Is this fictional or realistic?
Fictional.
Excellent. Because the tear is talking to the girl and trying to comfort her, and trying to whisper her with promises of dreams fulfilled. So we understand that the tear is now Lily or Laila or whatever. She is now trying to talk to Emily and to tell her that everything will be fine and there are promises of dreams that will come true. Okay, go back to Yasser. Go to Emily's sorrow.
Uh, Emily's sorrow gradually dissolved, replaced by a newfound determination. She stood from the bench, her posture straightened, and a smile graced her lips. With every step she took, her surroundings shimmered with a magical glow, as if her spirit had become intertwined with the essence of serendipity itself.
Excellent, excellent. So now we can see a move, a change in the character of Emily. She started gloomy, sad, tied to herself, and now look at the physical movement. Look at the beginning when the writer introduced Emily. He said she was like kind of holding to herself, kind of bending her back and sad and sorrow. But now, after the tear is talking to her and telling her that everything would be fine, she got some kind of hope, some kind of determination, and even look at the word posture. Her posture straightened, meaning she is not bending anymore. She kind of standing up high, tall, embracing the world with a full of energy and strength. And there was a smile on her lips. Remember in the beginning when we met her, she was shy and crying and sorrow and all the uh, mischief. But now she has something. So this part you can consider a change of character. Okay, thank you, Yasser. Go to Larine for Larine, you did. Let's go for Jawad. Go for this paragraph.
Unbeknownst to Emily, Leela watched from afar, her tiny form glowing with pride. The little tear drop revealed in the joy she had bestowed upon the young girl, fulfilling her purpose of spreading happiness. Leela knew, however, that her journey wasn't complete.
Yes, thank you so much. So look at the comparison between the two characters in the story here. Look at the comparison between Emily and Leela. Leela came to give hope, to give positivity, to give energy to Emily, and Emily got it, and she even embraced it, and she even stood up and started to accept the new life and accept the new feeling of comfort and so on. But what about Leela? Is Leela fulfilled? Does she feel that she's now happy, she's done her job, or there is still something she is not happy about? Is there anything else she wants to do? So again, look at the theme of determination and the theme of being perfectionist, the theme of working hard. Bear in mind those themes, please. Okay, let's move in her quest to Larine, please.
In her quest to mend broken hearts, Lila encountered a plethora of souls carrying heavy burdens. She navigated through the mazes of despair, leaving a trail of truth-filled teardrops in her wake. Each one held a story of hope, redemption, or love, capable of unlocking the hidden strength within.
All right, so this paragraph talks about Leela's feeling. The teardrop now is thinking about what next. Am I done? Is that it? Did I do my work? What is the next step to do? Now she's been now looking for souls that have heavy burdens. She's now wanting to continue her journey of saving others, the journey of giving redemption to others, giving hope, love to other people. Okay, now let's move to Muhammad. Can you go to as the seasons changed?
As the seasons changed and years passed, Leila's legacy grew, becoming the stuff of legends. Her teardrops, carefully traced illusions, had drawn the pages of books and poetry, forever etching themselves into the fabric of history. From time to time, When a weary soul yearned for a solace, a single teardrop would shimmer into existence, ready to weave its magic once more.
All right, so this is a paragraph where the writer wants to tell you a message. I don't want to tell you the message. I want to hear it from you. What do you think the message the writer wants to tell you here? Remember, every interpretation is acceptable. Every interpretation is respected. There is nothing 100% correct, 100% wrong. You know what I mean? So any answer you're gonna give is acceptable as long as you can back it up, as long as you can argue. Why do you feel this way? Why do you think it is this way? It is important to develop your critical thinking. So this paragraph is your opportunity to figure out what is the message the author wants to tell you. If we could continue also the last paragraph, I'm going to read it for you to figure it out, because these two last paragraphs are the message of the story. So the lie of a teardrop persisted, spinning tales of inspiration and granting solace to those in need. Though Leela's existence remained concealed within the art of her illusions, her benevolent spirit lived on, lighting the way for lost hearts to find their own serendipitous paths. So what do you think the message of the author of this story is? What does he want to tell you? Yes, it can be anything. Absolutely. The message could be anything. Like what? If you have a question like this in the exam or in life in general, or inshallah, when you go to university, you go to a question like, what is the message? What is the aim of this piece of literature? What is the writer wants to tell you? What do you think? I want you know what? I'm going to give you time. And after that time, we will have a break, I promise, before we go to the test. We'll have a short test. But for now, I want you to figure out and write a very short paragraph. What is the message of this story, the very short story? What is the message that the writer wants to tell you? I'm going to give you 10 minutes to write it down. I'm going to also accept it in the chat box here. And if you need to see the story, I don't mind. I'm going to share it one more time for you to have a look, to tell me what is the message of the author here. A short paragraph, no more than 5 sentences.